I consider myself very lucky. I found my passion early in life, photography. But that's not the case for everyone, and that's okay. But for me, I actually wanted to be a writer. I had been writing, I had done well in school in English and doing all these things. And then one day, my older brother came back, he was in high school, and he came back with a print, a black and white print that he had made in a class in high school, a photo class. And immediately I was taken. I'm Daniel Norton, photographer here in New York City. Welcome to my studio. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about passion, but also about finding your purpose, how these two things are very, very important. Finding your passion will help you feel more alive, help you kind of get through some hard spots, and really make you feel like you're doing more than just making money, spending money, making money, spending money. But the truth of the matter is, it is your purpose that will truly make your life fulfilled. And we all have a purpose. So what do I even mean by passion and purpose? Well, let's start with passion. Your passion ultimately is the thing that you get excited about no matter what. You're tired, you've got other things going on in life, but when that thing comes to play, you can do the thing that you're passionate about. You will find the energy. Even if at first you're kind of slow, as soon as it kicks in, you start doing it. For me, again, it's photography. When I get on set, I'm full of energy. I forget to eat. I forget to drink. I forget everything around me. I come into a place where I feel like I'm in groove with the universe, if you will. I'm doing the thing I was meant to do. I am enjoying myself. I'm not thinking about anything else. All the worries in the world go away when I am shooting. That is my passion. Your passion might be any number of things. It could be writing, it could be drawing. Your passion could be hiking or travel. It could be anything. But find that thing that really drives you. What is it you really love to do? And not make $1 million or travel the world, but specifically something you've done, you want to do, and you know that it makes you feel this way. Purpose, on the other hand, is the greater call. While we would all love to just eat ice cream sundaes and be luxuriate around all day long and just be in ourselves and be selfish, really most of us, all of us, I'd like to think, want to help others, want to share what we have, whether it be our knowledge, the things that we create, anything, right? Just our time. And that's our purpose. Our purpose is finding what it is that we can do to make not just our lives better, but the lives of everyone better to a certain extent. It's true, we're all just individuals. Most of us can't change the world per se, but if we all change it just a little bit, maybe we can make it a little better. And your purpose is what you do, what you found that you need to do to make the world a better place. So in an ideal world, we can align our passion with our purpose, the thing that we want to do to make the world better, and the thing that we love. Can we do the thing we love in a way that makes the world better? That is the win state, if you will. So for most people, maybe you haven't found your passion yet. You might be 15 years old, you might be 50, you might be 80. Maybe you just feel like you haven't found it yet. How can we find what we are passionate about? Well, number one, I think that one good exercise to do is to sit down and really think about moments in your life so far that you have found real joy. Think about what was going on in those moments. What were you doing? And in there, you may find a common theme or thread. What excited you? What still excites you? That may be the path that you can follow to lock in on what you are passionate about. If you're kind of just went along and you didn't really have anything, and you can't think of anything that really blew you away, well, now this is kind of a fun part. Start exploring. Look for local clubs, things you've never done before. If something catches your eye for 1 second, think about it. Oh, maybe I'll join a book club. Maybe I'll join a gaming club. Maybe I'll join a photo club, right? Try these various things. Take an online course. Watch a YouTube video, right? But the most important thing is whatever you look at that seems interesting, take action. Don't spend a lot of time just researching it. Just try something and see how it fits. For me, like I said, I do my passion for a living. I create photos and video these days. And that's not my only passion, because why are we limited to one? I found later in life, or rediscovered something later in life that I loved when I was younger. Like I said at the beginning, I wanted to be a writer. And at that time, I was reading a lot and playing a lot of games. It was the 80s and I was playing Dungeons and Dragons. And if you've been anywhere in the last few years, you've seen this game is blown up again. People are playing role-playing games a lot. They're becoming a big part of the culture again. And this is something I rediscovered when I got older. I love playing. I create content for it. I write for it. And through this, I'm able to bring a second passion into my life and do it kind of in a hobby style. So we're at that part of the video where you're doubting this and I have to overcome the obstacle of you doubting this. No, this part's just about overcoming obstacles maybe. So this is the thing. I say all this, but what happens when you try 2 clubs and you don't like it? What happens when you just can't seem to latch onto anything and you start feeling bad about yourself? You need to not look at it that way. It's a journey. You're trying things. You're experimenting. What's the worst case situation? You learned something new. You met some new people. Try stuff. Don't let it hold you back. If you're feeling bad that nothing seems to ignite you, then think about each thing you do and break it down a little bit. Was there anything about it that I liked? Did I go to this book club and I liked getting together and discussing the books, but I didn't love all the reading? Well, maybe a club that discusses movies. Maybe you like to watch movies. Or maybe music. Maybe because you love discussion, that could be part of what your passion is. Discussing, analyzing, etc. It could be any number of subjects. Look at what you're finding and break it down to even smaller steps. Don't be overwhelmed by this idea that you have to find it. Like I said, many people don't find their passion right away. And some people have multiple passions and it can change even over the course of time. This is the nature of passion. This is why we want to kind of widen our scope, because generally the purpose is the thing that will never change. And we'll talk about that. So we've talked a bit about finding your passion, searching for it, achieving it, overcoming obstacles. But this is the question that I get a lot. How can I turn my passion into a job? Or we'll also talk about into a fulfilling hobby. How can we take what we love and turn it into something that fills our life in a different way? It's not just something we enjoy on our own, but something we can share, which leads a little bit more towards purpose, but we'll talk about that in a second. So I'll start off by saying that doing your passion, the thing you love, as your job is not for everyone. This is to say that sometimes what we love to do is better to just do and share. This is the hobby state, right? The state where we shoot pictures of landscapes and we show them at local shows. We donate them to charitable auctions. We show them to our friends. We make wallpapers with them. People enjoy them. Not the state where we shoot landscapes and we hope to sell them as stock photography. We want the hotels to hang them on their walls and pay us for it. The main stopping point for a lot of people here is that how much criticism are you willing to take when you truly love something? It's easy to be criticized about something that, who cares? It's not easy when it's what you are, who you are, what you do. If you produce this art with everything in you and then you show it and it is rejected, that can be a terrible, terrible, terrible feeling. So if you are thinking about doing this as a career, start off with the showing hobbyist place is what I would recommend. Show your work. Be comfortable being criticized, and not criticized by somebody who you know will go gentle, like somebody who you kind of know or a friend of a friend, but putting your work out there in a space where people will criticize it, but not quite as harshly, because again, it's more of a I love to do this, amateur, if you will, showing versus a really somebody got paid to do this thing. If you feel like you're okay with that criticism, if you can get past that point, then making your passion your career is amazing. Being able to do the thing that you love to do and get paid for it is fantastic. No more of this, okay, I work all year so I can take 2 weeks off during my vacation to do the thing I love. Now you do it every day. And this can often be a test of Is this really our passion? Will we get burnt out on it? Is it not what we really wanted to do? So I would say, even though this is not what I did, really think about it. And I say that I did not do it. I found I love photography. I pushed through every barrier I could to go to photo school, to be a photographer, and I just jumped into it. And yeah, it stung when I got negative reviews, when people told me I wasn't good. But I was able to handle it, thankfully. I know plenty of people that could not. And they went into the career and they got burnt out. It didn't work out for them. But that's okay, because many of them do the work now because they love it. My purpose is to help people find the beauty inside themselves and accept themselves and become the best people that they possibly can. How did I come about with that? What does that have to do with photography? Well, here's the thing. When I first started doing photography, I was, like most people, a craftsman. And I learned the craft. That's what you do. And even today, while I'm teaching photography, I hear the same questions. How do we make people look different? And why do we have this question all the time? We have the question because so many people will come in front of your camera and say, I hate having my picture taken. I don't like the way I look in pictures. And the immediate response of the craftsman is, I will figure out the tools to make you look different so you will like yourself. I'll let that sink in for a second. One day, I don't remember exactly which day it was, but it came to me that that's not such a great solution, at least not for me. Why not help people like the way they look? Why not point out the things about them that I enjoy about their appearance or their personality or whatever? Why not bring them up instead of changing them on this two-dimensional surface so that they can somehow be this thing that they're not, which deep down, they're not going to be satisfied. They might look at that picture and go, oh, I love that picture. It doesn't look anything like me. Is that fulfilling for me? No. What was fulfilling was when somebody looked at a picture and said, I never like pictures of myself, but you know what? You're right. I do have an interesting nose, or I have beautiful eyes, or whatever. Then they're learning to love themselves, to see themselves in a different way, to see themselves positively, because most people, this includes beautiful models that you see me working with all the time, have doubts about themselves. All of them do. And what I decided was I wanted to help people not feel that way as much as I could. And then I kept moving through life, and I had this new philosophy, and then I would teach photography, and I would teach other things, and I would do other things, and I realized that all these things I was doing, when I was doing makeup for people, when I was helping people style all around photography, when I was teaching photography, when I was teaching other things, everything that I was doing was making me feel good about myself because I was making people feel good about themselves. And I realized that's really what it's about for me. Yes, I love photography. Yes, I love the craft. Yes, I love making portraits. But what I really love is helping people feel good about themselves. And whatever I do, whatever the passion is, if the photography passion fades someday, maybe, and I also have passion for writing, maybe my writing passion is coming up, my passion for making YouTube videos. These passions all lead to the same place. I want you to feel good about yourself, to get to a place where you feel powerful and sure of yourself. This is not something that is easy for most people. And it's not easy for me. I can't just tap you with a wand and make you suddenly love yourself. But it's something that is my purpose. I want people to feel better about themselves. I want photographers learning photography to understand that they shouldn't try to make people look different. They should try to make them look the best that they can look. Focus on the things about them that are wonderful. Don't create falsehoods. And a lot of photographers don't agree with that and will bounce off each other, and that's also fine because everybody has their own way of doing it. But my purpose is to help people. And in order for me to help people, that's how I found that I can do it. This is where you're going to come from. You're going to look at the things you do, whether it be your passion or your job or a hobby that you're only somewhat concerned about or something you do out of obligation, and see if there's something there, something that makes you feel better about yourself, about how you're changing and helping people. This is your purpose. And again, your job might be manufacturing watches, right? But maybe you have a passion and a purpose, and there's a reason why you manufacture those watches, not just to make money, but because you think that they're beneficial to people and to society. That would be your purpose. So let it sink in. Think about what you do. What is the thing that you repeat constantly? Does it make you feel good? Is it changing the world, maybe one person at a time? That's your purpose. You know what you are passionate about. You have found your purpose. Or maybe you haven't. Either way, it's time to take action. If you have a passion and you know what your purpose is, let's take the steps to move forward. I've talked about setting goals in other videos and about planning. I have lots of videos out here about starting businesses, about technique. If you're interested in the arts, you can listen to my podcast as well, A Voice. This is what you want to do. If though you're still unsure, you like a little bit of everything, but nothing really grabs you, well, then that just means you've got to keep looking. You will find it. I have met many people when my parents retired and moved to where people go to when they retire, an area where there's a lot of older people. I interacted with many, many people who had finished a whole career, raised a family, did all kinds of things, and now they finally found something they love. Maybe it's painting, maybe it's playing an instrument, maybe it's performing on some level. They never knew that their passion was this until later in life. And guess what? They're super happy to be doing it. So it's never, ever, ever too late. If you do love something so much, but it just doesn't align with what you're doing, the work you do, your general life is not about your purpose, it doesn't make you feel like you're moving forward, see if somehow you can bring your passion into your life in a way that will make changes for the better for people. I'm not saying quit your job and become a photographer if you still don't have any clients yet and you just love doing it. I am saying maybe teach a friend of yours photography or show your work to somebody who might love it. Let people know that you are passionate about something. Share your joy and they will find joy in it as well. So we've talked about finding your passion. We've talked about finding your purpose. We've talked about aligning your passion and your purpose and living your true life. So I hope you take something from this video. I would love to know in the comments below if you've found your passion, if you found your purpose, if they align, if you're still looking. Let me know in the comments below. Let's get a conversation going. And speaking of conversations, you can find a link to my Discord server down in the description. Go ahead, join up over there. Lots of like-minded people talking about photography and the arts. I'll talk to you soon.